Hello, friends. I just want to put out a quick message real quick because I said quick way too many times. We'll just keep going. Okay. Hello, friends. I just want to put out a really quick message to everyone out there who watched the show. We're starting to get into this realm of technical difficulties again, mostly on Broderick's end. His PC is it's getting old. It's getting to that age. So a lot of the audio is going to sound a little wonky. The picture not be super clear as it normally has been past episodes. There's some future episodes that we have already recorded a couple months prior that we're ready to edit and release and everything, but some of them will be used on his phone. There's going to be a lot of quality issues. But everything still sounds good for the most part. Everything's going to look fine for the most part. You're here to listen anyway. It's a podcast, people. This is another one of those really special episodes. It's our 10th episode. You can see in the title what it's going to be about. We also have a special guest this episode. They also had technical difficulties, but it really shouldn't take away too much, hopefully. So I just want to clear the air, put that out. We're still making content. We're still recording. We're still doing the whole thing. Thank you so much for sticking by us. Thank you so much for hanging out. You can follow us on Twitter. I'm up here, and Brod's down there. You can follow us on Twitter, also on Twitch, and all that fun stuff. I might end up doing some more with this channel than just doing the podcast show. We'll see when we get there. For now, please enjoy the show. Thank you so much, and have a really great day. Hello, friends. Welcome back to a very special episode of RPGamers, the retrospective podcast where we talk retrospectively about video games. As you can tell, we do have a special episode because we have our first guest star appearance. He's been mentioned on the show a couple times before. It's our buddy Preston. Say hello.
Hey.
So we're excited to have him on for, again, another very special episode that preludes past RPGamers but goes back to my original channel under XLegend47, where we've done sit-down one-off shows about the game we're going to be talking about, which is a very special one for me personally, and I know the other two are also involved in a very special and important way. So we're excited to get into it. If you can't tell what the game is, it's the Kingdom Hearts series. We just had the 20th anniversary happen. The event happened. We got a lot of cool reveals, a lot of great things, and we're just excited to sit down and finally talk about it. So this is, again, going to be a very personal episode for me, and I'm just excited to get into this. And without further ado, before we get into it, Broderick, why don't you tell us what you've been playing so far?
So yeah, it's just pretty much same as last episode. I've just been playing more, Evil Dead the game. I finally got, like, a group of friends that I found that all play it, so, we finally jumped on last night as, like, our first, like, matches together, and we're, doing really good, so I'm having a lot more fun with the game now. Just being able to have, like, communication with, like, other players and, like, everybody, like, exploring the different characters. I'm starting to really, like, get a good look at how, like, useful each character is, like, in their own way.
For sure.
Just really starting to appreciate the game a lot more.
Oh, I know.
Other than that, I've just been kind of playing whatever I feel like playing. I started another playthrough of Doom 3 just for the fun of it. And, I've just been really just blowing through that because I realized last night as I was playing, I think my playtime I think I'm like right around 5 hours and I'm like already almost done with the game. So it was just kind of realizing that game wasn't really as long as I thought. And plus I'm kind of just starting to try to get the platinum for it. So I started on the veteran difficulty. So I've been kind of just mostly speedrunning it, trying to get through it. But other than that, that's pretty much all I've been playing.
Right on. Yeah, I remember we talked about Evil Dead for quite a bit, and that no, it sounds like it's going to be a better experience now that you have like a group dedicated group to play with, which is awesome. So I'm happy for you for that, because I know that's something you're very interested in getting more involved in with Evil Dead the game. So that's cool. Preston, what have you been playing lately?
Um, I don't even think I've really touched a PlayStation in a month and a half because life's been insane. But the sale lately got me when I got the Jackbox 3 Party Pack. Yes and no, old game. And I got 2 other games that are slipping out of my brain right now that I got as well. So
Jurassic?
yeah, I keep up. Huh?
Jurassic Evolve, maybe?
Yes.
Okay.
That was one of them.
It's sad that I know that.
Yeah, I keep getting games, but yeah, my time to play them is rapidly leaving.
Oh yeah, that's something that me and Brod, not even just us, but every gamer deals with, is trying to find time to play these games. But we keep buying more. That's a constant thing that comes up on the show, is just constantly buying more. I'm sure Broderick right now is trying to buy more right now. I can see.
I mean, if they're on sale, you gotta get them.
Which is true, yeah. Which is true for sure. There's a couple I've been browsing on and noticing as well. So, I've been trying to slow down. There's a couple things that I've been trying to like force myself to just don't do it. You're not gonna play it for like a year. Just don't do it. You know, whether it's a good sell or not, whether it's down like 30% or whatever the case is. You know, because of, you know, a lot of different things. But yeah, you were away out of state for a while. So, do you remember the last video game you played at all?
The last one I beat was Life is Strange 3.
That's the True Colors, right on. Perfect.
Yeah.
That's good, because that's a recent one too, so relatively recent.
Yeah, that was the last one I actually completed, because like I did a lot of popcorning around in different games. Yeah. I borrowed Brod's game and still haven't opened it to play it yet, and I really need to do that.
What game is that?
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yep,
because someone gave me the sequel as a present, and I never played the first one, so I need to get into both of those.
Oh yeah, for sure. Great games. We talked about those too. I put out my frustrations last episode about it, but no, great games though. Truly wonderful games, amazing games. That's awesome. I guess then to me, I've just been grinding out Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga. Let me tell you my frustrations with this game, because I love the game. Let me just say that now. I love it. But I think that the developers were like, there's no way someone's going to want to sit down and do all of the stuff in this game, so we're just going to make it broken towards the end. For whatever reason, whether it's a time or whatever, maybe I just got a bad copy or I'm experiencing bad things, I don't know. But there are some missions where the stuff doesn't work, doesn't get activated. The targeting system for like space battles doesn't work, so I have to manually target things, and it's not like it's like Star Wars Squadron, so there's a lot of challenge behind it, and it's just tedious collecting, and it's starting to really get down on me, where I'm like, is this worth doing anymore? Is this worth, but I'm so close to the end. I have 4 more planets to do, and then a couple more things after that. I'm almost there, and like, it's just going around to each planet collecting the bricks and everything, which is just becoming just a daunting task at this point. And some of the stuff just isn't working, so I'm having to constantly quit the game, restart, and then get back into it.
That's not.
Yeah, the game hasn't crashed on me, but I feel like it's just, there's a lot of things that are just like, why isn't this working now, when I'm like at the precipice, where I'm at like, I'm at the climax of this thing. I just want to finish it, but I'm having so hard getting to the finishing tipping point, where I could just cool run-ins down the rest of the mountainside. So it is what it is. Like I said, I love the game. It's amazing, I don't have any true issues with it, thankfully, but it's been fun, It's been a lot of fun. And then otherwise, the rest of the stuff I've been playing would be Final Fantasy Strangers of Paradise. I started that. Played it a little bit again since last recording, but mostly it's just been Lego Star Wars and just really just trying to finish that game off because, my God, there's too much to do. Truthfully, there's too much to do. And it's just like, when it stops working, it becomes just a frustrating thing of like, I'm so close to finishing. Why is it not working when I'm almost done? And like I said, I don't know if it's a personal thing on my system or a copy of the game, but it's just been something I've been experiencing lately. Which is a shame, because again, I love it. I love the game, truthfully. We also talked about the sales. I don't think I've bought anything recently on the sales. Let me look real quick. I don't know. Was there any games on the Days of Play sales that you guys have noticed that has caught your eye? Said, "Oh, I want to buy that," or whatever the case is.
Pretty much. I've been going through it, and the only one, because there's the Days of Play sale, and then there's like that remaster and retro sale, at least going on for PlayStation right now.
Right.
But for at least the Days of Play one, like the biggest one that caught my eye was Prey, just because I've been wanting to get into that game for a while, and
I think
it's like super cheap right now, so I think I'm just finally jump into it.
Hated it.
And then, well, it's funny that you say that, because a game that I'm pretty sure that I've talked about on this podcast where I just did not like it for some reason, which was Alan Wake on the remaster sale. I think that's down pretty cheap, and I'm honestly considering picking that one up too to give it another shot and see if
remaster's fine, because that's also like a thing where it just didn't work and it ran like crap. Opposed to not Greedfall. That's another one we've talked about. No, Prey, where I just no. It just as a game, I just was not. No, I'm good. It's like Dishonored, but with guns, except you can't use the guns because you have to be stealthy. It's obviously it's made by the same people that make Dishonored, but it didn't do it for me. It didn't do it for me. Hated it. I tried it. I played it. I got it based on the idea that, like, I'm going to love this because it's by the same team that did Dishonored, but no, it just didn't do it for me. Hopefully you like it, but there's that. Go ahead.
I was a big fan of the early Prey games, which of course this one has, as far as I know, nothing to do with them, so I'm just separate. More interested in like the reboot of the series and see how they took it.
Oh yeah, for sure. That was a big deal for me too, but it just didn't translate well for me personally. Not that I don't even really remember the original Prey games. It's been so long. But I did buy Breakpoint, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Breakpoint. I'm excited to get into that. I got like the Ultimate Edition, came with like all the DLC and all that, but I mean otherwise that's pretty much it. I think I bought another Jackbox Party Pass too, because that's something we like to do as friends together, just because it's just dumb fun and we get a good laugh out of it. But I mean, other than that, I guess that's really it. I haven't really looked at the remasters one. That one's been out. That sale has been out for a while now, so I've already looked past it and I'm already done looking at it. I've went through that threshold of like I'm done looking at the games. I'm not gonna buy any. Just move on. There's no point in looking because it's gonna happen. So, but awesome. So with that, then I guess we can get into the main topic today, which is of course about a very special series called Kingdom Hearts. Like I said at the beginning, it was the 20th. Yeah, if it's not apparent, I mean honestly, how much money I put into this series. It is a very important series for me. It's been a part of my life ever since I first played the very first game when it came out. And these two guys have also been on that journey as well. Not as, I wouldn't say as deeply as I am, but they are still part of it. Yeah, we'll get into that later. But and so this is just more of a podcast celebrating the series as a whole. Like I said, we've done episodes on my original channel about the series and about like our loves and dislikes and stuff, but we never had a show like this or an episode where we done a post Kingdom Hearts 3 world where we're finally past that threshold. We have the trailer for Kingdom Hearts 4. What are we looking forward to and stuff like that. So to keep it real simple, the first question I guess I would have for you guys, and we'll see if this has even changed at all, but what is your favorite Kingdom Hearts game up to this point? Out of all the spin-offs, out of all the I say spin-offs with quotation marks because they're not really spin-offs, but with or the main titled numbered games, whatever the case is, what's your favorite one?
Good question.
Either one can start. If you need more time to think about it, I can go, because mine still hasn't changed, personally.
Go, Pat.
So, I'm very much the black sheep in the community. I'm very much in between the three of us. Because Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories has been and still is my favorite Kingdom Hearts game. I just love the card battle mechanic. I love deck building games. And so you're telling me there's a deck building game with Kingdom Hearts? It's hands down. It's really fun. The thing that really pushes it to be my favorite is just the story and how we're seeing Sora struggle with his emotions, and we're seeing Sora go through the beats of being challenged by his memory and what he is, what he believes is to be true, opposed to what is fake and what's false, and then obviously re-remembering his friends and going through the motions. And it's just such a great story, and it's so different than the other Kingdom Hearts games where we see Sora go through a different type of challenge emotionally, opposed to like, oh, it's a hard enemy, it's a hard boss, there's a ton of enemies, whatever the case is. This is a real like emotional, personal thing he's going through. And I think it's just a fantastic story. But also, like I said, the gameplay is phenomenal. I love the gameplay from the Game Boy to the PS2 remastered, PS3 and remastered, PS2 remake, PS3 remastered, PS4 remastered. Love it. It's absolutely still my favorite for sure.
I don't know. For me, I'm kind of between 2 and 3 being my favorite. Just because 2 is, as far as I know, kind of like, as far as like in the community, kind of like the one that's like the most like highly regarded and like most loved and all that. And it did a lot of great things. The combat was really fun. A lot of the worlds and like stories that the game played out were just really interesting and like just captivating. But at the same time, like 3 was kind of like the evolution of everything, like the ending to like the big story of at least like that. Like at least all the like Kingdom Hearts titles all coming together. So.
Oh yeah. And the Venera, really.
Yeah, I think really ultimately it would be 3 just because of, everything that it was managing as far as, just finally concluding, that story. And kind of just, I guess, I don't know if I would say improving, but I guess more exploring like the combat system and what the, I don't even know what they call it, but just how, like, I guess just like acrobatic and like just more, like mastery over like fighting with like the Keyblade and everything that Sora's become. Yeah. So
I think this is where I become the comic book guy, and I get like super like but because there is a very this is only really to help you though to make that decision, because there's Vanilla Kingdom Hearts 3, which story wise it's the same, and then there's Kingdom Hearts Remind, which is like the final mixed version of the game. I cannot go back to Vanilla Kingdom Hearts 3. I can only play the I guess the completed version with Remind and all the updates and all the new combos they added in to make the game more fluent like Kingdom Hearts 2 used to be. And so, because I don't know if you know this, but when Kingdom Hearts 2 first came out, the vanilla version of Kingdom Hearts 2, it was not liked. People actually relatively disliked it, which is strange And it's like, that's crazy because like how, because I mean honestly as a kid I was like, yeah, this is amazing, this is like a great step up, you know. But and then you get Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix and it's like, oh my god, this is like the definitive version of the game. Like that, I can't imagine playing vanilla ever again now, you know. With all the new combos and the scenarios and the cutscenes. My god, the cutscenes there's so many new cutscenes. The abilities are new. There's a lot of just new things with it. It's like I can't go back to vanilla Kingdom Hearts 2 again because of this. So I think that it's a good pick, like saying Kingdom Hearts 3 or Kingdom Hearts, you know. I would say like vanilla, no, not me personally, but I think that's not really like, that really doesn't matter in the end, I guess, but because I think Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind adds so much more context and does a lot more things to help the story and help improve the game, that I think that is like the better version of the game. Because like vanilla Kingdom Hearts 3 against like Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix wins that every day, just as a game, you know, not even talking about the story. Now we have, you know, what is now considered Kingdom Hearts 3 Final Mix. That is now like the true like definitive game. That's what everyone would say, oh, now I don't know which one I like more. So I think there's a lot of people that share in that for sure. Do you have any thoughts about that, about like the difference between vanilla and, because I know there are some things with Remind that you didn't get to, as far as like the data battles and the secret boss, which we'll probably talk about later. And then obviously not being able to get Oblivion, which we've talked about before in the show, but we'll talk about it again. You're already shaking your head. I know you're pissed, but and stuff like that. So I don't know. What are your thoughts about that?
To be honest, I'm not really sure because I didn't really explore the Remind update too much. Like I pretty much just jumped in for the little bit of like story content that it provided, and then messed around in the data battles, but other than that, I honestly haven't played it since Remind came out, so honestly, I don't think I ever actually noticed all the like little differences and stuff that was added in and all that.
Huge differences, because the combo was so floaty and was so slow in the vanilla, and then you have like the updated where they give us new abilities that make it flashy and fast, just like in Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, and it honestly changed the game and how we play it. They fixed iframes, they fixed frame data for stuff. You can cancel out of combos now. They fixed a lot of stuff that just made the game a lot better. I think it needed that for the data battles, and especially that secret boss. But so I think that's something worth like revisiting for sure. If you have the time, you're actually interested, or you just like whatever this dude's talking about. But
no, I've been wanting to go back to Kingdom Hearts 3, but if I do, I just want to at least like replay a bit of the series before jumping back in. So
yeah, for sure.
More just finding the time.
For sure. All right, Preston, do you have a pick for your favorite game in the series?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with KH2.
Okay.
I sat here and thought about it for a little bit, and I was torn between a couple of things, and the reason I almost picked KH1 just because it's the start of the series and like the building block of where everything goes, you know?
Right, yeah.
But at the end of the day, I feel like KH1 wasn't entirely sure what they were. I mean, you didn't even have Mickey in that game yet because like they weren't sure the game was going to be a success. They didn't want to put Mickey in it. And so then on Kingdom Hearts 2, they know it's a success. They know that they can have a little more properties in the worlds of Disney. They know a lot more things, and it just feels like a really solid game. And then you start off the game in Chore Simulator 2000, which, you know, for me, I wasn't a huge fan of that, but after the Chore Simulator, it's great, you know, the rest of the way, and then it's really interesting. And you're like, oh, I'm Roxas, like, who am I? Like, what am I doing here? And, like, you're immediately thrown into a mystery because, like, you know, for me, I know it's your favorite game, Chain of Memories, not my favorite game, so, like, yeah, hopping into KH2 was a little different because I didn't get the full total context when I did it. Because when I first hopped in the KH series, I thought it went KH1, KH2. I didn't realize it was KH1, Chain of Memories, KH2.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah, for sure. No, I get that. I think like that's why I said I'm the black sheep. Like I know it's no one's favorite game. Like I'm very well, like especially within the community, I am very well informed about that fact. But it's just always stood out to me as just something different that they tried to do with the series, and I just like when they try to do something different, and it's something that just works for me personally. But no, I no shade. I get it. Like it's not everyone's favorite game, but we're in a very different time period with Kingdom Hearts where like I remember growing up like waiting year after year after year to get another game, and like when we got Kingdom Hearts 1, Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memory on the Game Boys announced, I was like, oh my god, it's another Kingdom Hearts game. How to get it, and you know, unbeknownst, we didn't know as a fan base that it's not just a spin-off, it is the actual sequel to it. But and a lot of people ask, oh, what's like the definitive way to play the series? And honestly, it's just through release order. Like you play the first Kingdom Hearts 1, Chain of Memories, 2, Days, Birth by Sleep, and so on and so forth, you know. So a lot of people, you're not the only one, a lot of people are like that for sure. But I think what 2 does well over 3 is just pacing. I think Kingdom Hearts 2 just has significantly better pacing, personally. I just think that it has a lot more exciting moments throughout the game instead of like pushing it all the way towards the end like 3 does. Because 3, realistically, like nothing really happens until the third act where you go to the Keyblade Graveyard. And that's where all the exciting stuff happens. Or after the Big Hero 6 world, I should say, where you just kind of go through like it just felt like we're going through the Disney worlds just to get to that point, and that's what was a little frustrating for me as a fan, but I still loved it regardless, you know, either way. But so that sounds awesome, guys. That sounds awesome. I think originally Broderick had said his favorite was number 1, but I mean, when you sit on these things for so long, like you start to learn more about yourself and more about the games and whatnot. So that's awesome. But so moving from that, then I guess the next question, I wasn't really even structuring these as like questions, but more just like conversation pieces, is like, so do you guys have like a standout moment or playthrough or something that you went through personally that meant a lot to you with Kingdom Hearts? Was there like something that like you know, go ahead, Brod.
Two that immediately came to mind as far as like standout moments.
Yeah.
Of course, the first one, it was probably one of the most obvious ones, and that's the what is it, the 1,000 Heartless Battle or something like that?
Yeah, the 1,000 Heartless Battle.
Yeah, 1,000 Heartless Battle. Just because, like, me thinking, like, you know, playing Kingdom Hearts 2, like, back on the PS2, knowing, like, video games are very, like, limited in what they can do, and, you know, usually a lot of it's, like, very, like, contained and very, like, small, like, chunks of fighting and all that. And, you know, just going through Kingdom Hearts 2 and all of a sudden, like, stumbling across, because that was on, I believe, Hollow Bastion it occurs on.
Yes,
And, you know, just stumbling across, like, literally just this massive battlefield and so much going on. You know, you as a player, especially as a kid, thinking, like, they just killed off Goofy. Like, what the hell's going on in this game right now? And then, you know, going into this fight, you know, thinking, like, okay, like, how is this going to happen? It just being this, like, just super, like, I guess, like, even, like, cinematic, like, moment of you just fighting and fighting, having to go through all this. And, you know, that was just something that playing through it as a kid just felt, like, very intense, because it was, like, you know, this is, like, a very, like, serious moment for Kingdom Hearts, which, you know, that's not unfamiliar with the series. But usually, like, when all this serious stuff is going on, you have, like, that kind of, like, comical, like, just Disney stuff going on in the background.
Right. Oh, yeah.
And instead, in this moment, it's just, like, they're going full on, and, like, you know, this one of the moments where, like, Sora's, like, seriously, like, pissed off, you know, like, as far as he knows, one of his friends, like, literally just died, so,
oh, yeah,
you know, he's
Mickey.
Just going at it with everything.
Well, Mickey, then, like, pulls off the cloak and, don't pay for this! And he's all pissed off and runs in with his keyblade. He doesn't even, like, acknowledge the other guys. It's crazy. That's one of the most I love showing that clip to people and saying this is what Kingdom Hearts is, and showing them the clip like Goofy getting domed, and then you see Mickey, no, pay for this, and he takes off his cloak and starts running. It's a hard ass scene, dude. It goes so hard. It's so cool. It's just like, oh my god, without context, it's just like, holy shit, I need to know what this game is now. I need to get into this for sure, 100%. I think a big thing for the Thousand Heartless fight for me, like again, cinematically it's dope, but as a fight, not really, because all you have to do is just spam reaction commands. There's only 2 types of Heartless,
pretty much, yeah.
And that's the only downside of it, especially like a higher level of play. It's just like, oh, okay, whatever. But no, it's a really cool sequence. Honestly, for me, the coolest part about it is that's the halfway point of the game. That's like, they're throwing this at you at the halfway point in the game. What else do they have restored? It's crazy. Like, that is like, it's crazy that's the halfway point. Like that, like I said, the pacing of Kingdom Hearts 2 is insane. It's really good.
Yeah, and then as far as the second moment that came to mind is actually going back to Remind and I guess redone Labyrinth-like section. Because, originally going through that as just Sora and, like, fighting alongside all, like, the previous, like, playable characters or, like, Keyblade wielders. Like, it was like, okay, that's cool. It's bringing everybody together.
Mm-hmm.
But then getting in Remind where they completely switch it up and you go to each battle and it's like, oh, no, who do you want to play as?
Right. Yeah.
And so, getting to flip back and forth and, like, actually finally getting to play as, like, every single character, including Kairi. Was just like completely awesome, and then really just that entire stage of like the game was just just I guess like mind blowing moment because it's pretty much everybody like fighting for everybody's like on the line fighting for basically everything they knew, and everything's just going tense, and then Kairi basically getting killed was just like one of those moments where I just completely stopped and I'm just like, where are they going with this? Like, this is just completely insane at this point. And,
for sure.
So yeah, that was just something that, like, as soon as you said, like, standout moments, it just kind of was like, I guess just holy crap moments. That was definitely one of them.
Oh, yeah. Because there's a lot of emotional... Like, that's the thing about Kingdom Hearts. It's not... The story isn't for logic's sake. It's for emotional impact. That's what it's for. It's for that emotional impact of things, So, I definitely get that. Preston, do you have any standout, like, experiences or moments for yourself?
Yeah, I would definitely say, like, when the third game finally came out, so I wasn't in the hype train for the first 2 games, so, like, I actually hadn't played any game at release until KH3. Because all the other games I'd played, so long after they came out, so there wasn't, like, I kind of already knew stuff was coming, or if it did come, I'm like, okay, Goofy's obviously not dead because he's on the cover of the next game, or something like that, so it's like, those weren't shocking to me. But, I mean, yeah, when you're playing the third one, and then Donald just pulls out, like, the most powerful spell, and, like, zaps everybody... Yeah, and just, like, goes for it. And then, like, just, the craziness of that game. And if anybody has gone this far and hasn't played all of KH, I'm going to drop some major spoilers.
They have plenty of time. Drop it.
Yeah, so
plenty of time.
With, Sora, he kind of dies in the last game. And that shocked me. Like, I remember texting you guys going, like... No, I got this wrong. Like, what just happened? What's going on? And, like, yeah, like, I actually joked about it in one of our videos that Sora was going to die in the third game for my prediction. Yeah, and, it ended up being right. And that shocked me, too, because, like, you finally, when I finished the game, you sent me a picture of my own face saying, you did this, Preston. Yep. You did this. It's like, yeah.
Sora's gonna die.
Well, the funny thing was, I literally was just making fun of Family Guy and what's the guy's name? The Weatherman. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, Ollie.
Yeah.
Ollie, how Ollie just always is
He's
like
going
3 or
ready.
4 word
Yeah.
sentences. Like, yeah, just like really like that. So I just went, so we're gonna die. And I left
Yeah.
it at that. And somehow that was the most accurate prediction I had. That was just totally 100% Family Guy reference. That, yeah.
Well, I remember we were recording, and I was like, "Are you serious?" It's like, Thomas like didn't say anything. I'm like, "All right, I guess." She's like, okay. Well, no, because I made like video clips of it when he finally did it, and like enough time had passed when the game was out and people played it. I made a compilation of like the Curb Your Enthusiasm, like with Preston's face like going like nonchalantly, like I don't care, like yeah, I called it, he's dead, and stuff like that. So no, for sure, that's cool. Oh yeah, so that's crazy because like it's on record now as canon that Donald Duck is Square Enix's strongest character to date now, which is insane because of Zeta Flare. Because like there's obviously Flare, you know, like Fire Aga, stuff like that. There's different tiers of Flare. There's like Flare, Mega Flare, Terra Flare, and I think Terra Flare was the ability that wiped the original Final Fantasy 14 online MMO, and that was like, oh, it's that powerful, it destroyed the entire game, you know. Zeta Flare is after that, and Donald Duck, this freaking Disney character, makes that spell happen and obliterates obliterates Terranort, and does this all-out big-ass beam of red light, you know, and it's just like, really, Donald Duck's the most powerful? That's crazy. I mean, I've always been a big Donald Duck supporter. Everyone hates him because he doesn't heal, but that's not his role. He's not a healer. So it's like, he's not. I mean, you can make him. You can literally take off abilities and say you can't cast, especially in Kingdom Hearts 2, you can take off like fire, thunder, like all the spells except for Cure, so that's his only spell. So you could force him to do it.
And he still won't use it.
It's called the settings.
Yeah.
You could try it. I mean, shit, dude. You gotta figure it out then. That sounds like you, Prom, if you can't heal yourself. You have potions and stuff and your own magic. You can figure it out. But no, yeah, it's crazy to think about, like, that he's technically, like, canonically the strongest Final Fantasy character. It's crazy. Or Square Enix character, excuse me. So, that's awesome. I guess, like, standout moment for me, my god. I think this dates back all the way to when I was a kid, actually. Because this will always stick with me. And I always think about this scene often. It's the scene at the end of Kingdom Hearts 1 where he's on the beach. It's like the final boss. Before you start the final boss with Ansem, Sora has this amazing quote, or this amazing speech, where Ansem's saying like, oh, everyone's heart returns to darkness because that's the heart's true essence, is darkness, is evil. And Sora says, you're wrong. The heart may be weak, and sometimes it may even give in. But I learned that deep down, there's a light that never goes out. And that, for me, is like, stands out to me forever. You know, that has so much meaning for me as a person, growing up the way I did, and stuff like, and, you know, going through what I did as a kid, and it meant so much to me, and I've carried it throughout my entire life. And then there's the other quote from Kingdom Hearts 1 where, he says, like, I don't need a weapon, my friends are my power. And that, again, was another, like, standout moment for me. And then, of course, the crucial one where a lot of people have rewatched the cutscene multiple times because of the Riku Ansem fight, was... like, forget it, there's no way you're taking Kyrie's heart. And there's so many, like, great quotes and one-liners that throughout the series. That was a big one. I think those quotes are just big standout moments for me, for sure, those scenes, because they just mean so much. And especially with Kingdom Hearts 1, I think there's so many great moments that just really stand out to me. I guess, like, with Kingdom Hearts 3, Kyrie dying. like getting murked basically by Xehanort. Like that was just like whoa. This game, this series is getting to a serious tone at this point by killing off Kyrie. What did Kyrie do to anyone in the series? Kyrie's just been on the sideline chilling, you know, and to watch her get killed and see Sora and hear Haley Joel Osment in the studio like crying and saying, why her? And it's just like, oh my god, what are they doing? And then of course, like Preston just said, Sora dies, he vanishes. Well, at least up until Kingdom Hearts 3's ending, he's dead. That's what we see it as. He died, you know, he vanished and he died. Obviously with the phone game and then Melody and Memory and Remind, we know exactly what happened or where he went and stuff like that. And of course with Kingdom Hearts 4, you know. And I just think that seeing that was just so shocking. Like it did something to me emotionally on such like a crucial level where like, you know, the big, like, okay, so everyone's happy, we get it. What's the problem that we have to solve for the next saga, the next series? Sora gets dusted, like he got snapped away like from Thanos, you know. It's just like, okay, that's a pretty big problem that we have to figure out and solve. So I think those are all wonderful standout moments for sure, I would say. I just love those quotes so much. I carry those with me everywhere I go, you know. Obviously the big one, another big one more recently is may your heart be your guiding key, you know, and that's something I take at a literal sense, and it just means a lot to me. Definitely means a lot to me. Cool. So so I guess the next obvious question would be, and to keep it simplified, is worlds. So obviously Kingdom Hearts deals with a lot of Disney worlds and non-Disney worlds, and I wanted to ask you guys both if, and this is something if you can't do, I get it, especially with if you can only do with the main title, but through each game, what is your favorite world? And if you haven't played all the games, if you haven't played all the games, then that's fine. That makes sense, but like let's start with Kingdom Hearts 1.
Kingdom Hearts 1.
Whether it's Disney or non-Disney.
You go first, Pat.
Okay.
I'm just trying to remember the worlds that were in each of them.
I'm actually pulling it up right now.
I was gonna say me with like it in my brain. What's up?
I was just gonna say, Brod, to kind of give you a reminder, we have first game is Wonderland, Deep Jungle, 100 Acre Wood, Olympus Coliseum, Agrabah, Monstro, Halloween Town, Atlantica, Disney Castle, Destiny Islands, Neverland for the Disney ones.
Disney Castle's not playable though. I'm gonna need you to back it up,
but
so it doesn't count. It's not playable.
You can still love it.
It was originally supposed to be playable, but they removed it and saved it for 2. Yeah, no, it was originally supposed to be playable, but also the non-ones. We have Traverse Town, and then of course Hollow Bastion, and then we have the End of the Worlds. Personally, it's Hollow Bastion every day, because that's where all those standout lines and moments come, and it's just such a cool, uniquely designed world that it was an instant like, this is amazing. This is like one of the best things as a kid, especially. This is so much fun. It was both a maze, but also like just so wonderful to go through. And again, the scenes and the cutscenes and the fights and the moments are just so climactic and so wonderful that it's always going to be my favorite. It's the one that, like, you know, you go through these Disney worlds and you're trying, for me it's like I'm trying to get through these worlds so I can get back to Hollow Bastion and relive those moments personally.
Yeah. So for me, in the first game, by far the best world is Atlantica. We all know that. We all. I can't even say that with a straight face. I'm sorry. That's the worst world in that first game, personally.
It's not, but it's okay.
Honestly, after kind of
It's
looking
not.
around, like and remembering the worlds and stuff, I'm actually gonna have to go 100 Acre Wood for that first game because like it was just so like wholesome and pure and like lovely and like it was fun to play in all those different worlds and like I'd actually played different games growing up that had some of these different worlds in them and so but I'd never actually played a Winnie the Pooh game and so to kind of run around and play this it felt kind of like the Christopher Robin movie where you're like revisiting your childhood and had this like wholesome experience back. And so yeah, for me, it might not have had the best gameplay, might not even had the best like storyline, but it just was like gave you that break from the game as you were still playing it, and like Winnie the Pooh just sputters off like some of the best knowledge and wisdom out there, and it's just like has probably some of the best dialogue in that world, I would say. So.
Okay. I was gonna flame you, but I'm not going to now because just because like that's a reoccurring world in the other games. I would say out of all three of them, Kingdom Hearts 1's personally is the better version of it. I just think because the mini games,
I would agree. Yeah.
The mini games are just better. They're just they're so different and so much fun. Whereas like 3 is definitely the worst one. The mini games weren't fun for me. 2 was fun, but the games were very samey, and it didn't do it for me. But 1 had was the better 100 Acre Woods world in it. So I can agree with that. I could see that for sure. I definitely get that.
I think for me, I think honestly, end of the day, my favorite world from Kingdom Hearts 1 is probably Halloween Town. Just because I loved Nightmare Before Christmas so much, and like growing up, that was about like the only Disney movie that I ever really did like.
Mm-hmm.
So I think just being able to like get to, I guess, like experience like being there and like seeing like Jack and Sally do their thing and just getting involved was always like just really fun to me and really cool.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, that would probably be like one of my second favorite. It's up there for me too.
Yeah,
I love it a lot. It's so much fun.
Plus, as far as like the costume changes and everything, that's like some of like Sora's favorite looks to me. So
that's for
like,
sure.
He always looks really cool in those worlds.
That's for sure a big one. A big part of it is the costume change for all three of them. It's just again, I like when games do something different, and they definitely did something different. As far as Atlantica is concerned, I don't see Atlantica really as a problem. I know a lot of people do because the controls change drastically, but I look at that as that's just them trying to change the gameplay so it's not feeling as repetitive. And It offered a lot more challenge, and challenge is always a good thing because you're having to readapt, and it's something that is just really nice, But I understand the people's frustrations. I think the story's fine. The boss, at least the first Ursula fight's really awesome, and it's fun. The second one can be a little frustrating. You just want to get over with. But I think overall, I wouldn't say that's the worst world personally, but to each their own. And me and Bro have talked about this before, where we've done our hot takes.
I think we talked about that last week.
We did our
2 weeks ago.
We did our hot takes episode, and I talked about how people constantly trash about the Tarzan world and it being confusing, but I've made points to Broderick and saying that no, there are way more confusing worlds in Kingdom Hearts 1. Obviously for the audience, I won't repeat that stuff, but no, for sure. For Kingdom Hearts 2, we have a lot more worlds. I guess we'll just stick with Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and 3 just because they're the most distinctive, obviously, with their worlds. For Kingdom Hearts, and because obviously you guys haven't played all the games, so there's that too. But with Kingdom Hearts 2, there's Mulan, Beast Castle, Pride Lands, Pirates of the Caribbean, Atlantica, Tron, The World That Never Was, Twilight Town, and the Olympus Coliseum comes back, Halloween Town comes back, Agrabah comes back, and the 100 Acre Woods comes back, and I want to say there's one more. I'm not 100% sure.
Timeless River.
Timeless River, okay, yep. Oh, and Disney Castle, yeah, that's what I was thinking. So we have those ones. Out of those, what are your guys's? Because, like, again, with Atlantica thing, I look at the same thing as, like, Pride Rock, the Lion King one. It's like they changed how you play the game to there, but people don't complain about it there, and it's just like, I don't, you know what I mean? I don't. Obviously, Atlantica and Kingdom Hearts 2, now that is something I would allow, like, criticism for, because it is like, why did they choose to do this? It was a weird decision for sure, but I think again it was just there just to be a side quest or a side thing objective to do that's not for the main story, and just for something just like a quick fun mini game to do. That's all it was in reality, opposed to all the other fun mini games that are already in the game. But so favorite world there. Do you guys have your picks ready or?
Yeah.
Okay, go for it, Preston.
On that one, I'm actually going to have to go Port Royal, so Pirates of the Caribbean. And, I mean, because I'm a huge Pirates of the Caribbean fan.
Right.
And if I'm not mistaken, that was the first time a live-action movie got taken into the KH games, right? Oh, no, Tron. I forgot about Tron.
That's in the same game, though, so...
Anyways, so
I would say. Oh well, I don't think that they're both in there. It doesn't matter. That's yeah. Fine.
So anyway, so it was different, where like we were used to having only animated Disney movies in here, and we got the live action movie going up in. And, I love Pirates of the Caribbean. I love the story. I love how it's incorporated into Kingdom Hearts because,
it's so cool.
At the heart of it, you have, Sora, fits right into it with, the sword play and just kind of how he can easily be transported into this. Whereas when you have something like the Lion King world, you have to completely change Sora to a lion to make it work, and it doesn't flow as well. But yeah, in the pirate world it flows well because all his kind of gameplay can stay the same, and they don't have to transport too much stuff to make it work, and so it just felt like it was a perfect fit.
Right, for sure. No, I love the Pirates world, absolutely. That's up there for me too personally, so you're not far off. Rod?
For KH2, I think my favorite, or almost a planet, I guess the same thing. Favorite world was, I think Timeless River, and pretty much kind of for the same reasons for Halloween Town. Just Timeless River was it's just very different because it flips to the black and white, the very old timey Disney
cartoon,
stuff. Yeah. And I think even on those worlds, the voice acting and all of that's completely cut out too. So
yeah, old timey. Yeah.
Yeah, they've pretty much very embraced the time and I guess aesthetic of Disney at the time, and that was just a really cool thing because I think right around when that world comes up, it's almost a complete dynamic shift.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think as far as story wise, that's when everything's starting to really pick up and everything's starting to fall into place, and all of a sudden you get thrown into that world and it's just a complete different experience.
Oh yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Personally, honestly, this one was a little harder, obviously because Hall of Bastion has the big moments and the fun stuff,
right,
that you want to get to, and then obviously we have the World That Never Was, where a lot of the big emotional stuff happens, for story purposes. But honestly, I'm gonna have to agree with Broad. I think Timeless River is also my favorite, just because it's just so different. It's such a different take on the engine and on the aesthetic of the game, and it's just so much fun. I mean, the Timeless River skin on Super Smash Bros. Ultimate for Sora is one of the most popular skins because of it, because it just stands out as just whoa, this is so unique, and I completely agree. Pirates will probably be up there too for me though. I love because the ship battle where you have to protect the medallion, so much fun. It's so cool. It's such a cool way to interlay different gameplay with like ship battles and with like the story for pirates, and it's just really neat. It's really, really cool for sure. And then for Kingdom Hearts 3, I think this one is I think this one's going to be a little bit easier to think about. So I think me and Preston are going to be the same, but we'll see.
Yeah, so for worlds on the KH3, we have Olympus, Twilight Town, Toy Box, Kingdom of Corona, which is Twilight. Not Twilight. Sorry, which is Tangle. And I know, ironic,
Disney movie.
Literally, it's Corona, the virus name. Yeah. So then we have Monsters Inc., Frozen. We have the Caribbean, also known as Pirates Caribbean. Again, San Francisco, Big Hero 6, Keyblade Graveyard, and then on the other worlds, we once again have Winnie the Pooh, and then a bunch of kind of, random worlds that honestly don't kind of stand out to me, so I'm not even going to read them out.
That don't stand out to you?
Do you want me to read all of them?
Yeah, absolutely.
Alright, Dive into the Heart, Mysterious Tower, Radiant Garden, Dark World, Disney Castle, Castle Oblivion, Land of Departure, Destiny Islands, Final World, Stella Ad Kalam, and Quadrum.
So a lot of those were actually part of the Remind DLC that you didn't play, so it's pronounced it's pronounced Quadratum, but it's okay.
I took a guess.
I know you did. I appreciate the guess. It was pretty close. I'm not gonna lie, but that is Quadratum. We'll talk about that later. So that's really just for a lot of those extra places are really just for like boss fights. So we could definitely skip past those, but a lot of them mostly are just for like boss fights. But do you guys have your picks right away? I'm pretty sure me and Preston have the same one, but
yeah.
Okay, Brad, go ahead.
We definitely do, Pat.
Yeah, go ahead, Brad.
So, other than the Remind Keyblade Graveyard, because I would say that one is my favorite, just because you get to like really switch up like the fighters and play as everyone.
Yeah,
I think really my absolute favorite one, even though it was incredibly short for obvious reasons, was the Pirates of the Caribbean one. Just because of like kind of same thing about Timeless River was, it was a very like sudden like graphics change where throughout the whole game we were getting kind of like this normal like Kingdom Hearts animation to all of a sudden getting Sora in like an almost like live action look, and how they were the just engine change was just so like just really cool for the series, just because everything just looks so real and like different. And plus I just really liked the kind of just the story of that world, and Sora going just absolute ham on Davy Jones. So it was just like a very like fun experience, and just very like just fun look at like the characters and how they really like changed up that world for the new game and what they were able to like accomplish as far as like making it and how everything plays out.
Okay, I can see that. That was my most anticipated world. That was the one I was looking forward to the most, and my God, did it disappoint me. I was so I was just so what the hell. I don't know about that one, bud. That was, I think, like, again, the aesthetic of it is cool and the look of it is great and the ship battles are awesome, but like the story as far as like from movie to the game, it just doesn't make sense. If you haven't seen the movie, you'll have no idea what the hell's going on. So I don't see anyone saying, "Oh yeah," So those are, like Preston has said, it's like one of his favorite franchises. That's also one of my favorite franchises, and that's why like when I saw, At World's End was the world pick, I lost my freaking mind because, you look in the trailers and you see like Davy Jones and Jack Sparrow fighting on the whatever it's called on the ship, the flag thing, whatever, the giant pole, whatever it's called, I don't know what it's called. And they're fighting on that, and if you watch the movie, it's the exact same scene. And I did a side-by-side at one point on social media. I said, which one's the movie, which one's Kingdom Hearts 3? And people were honestly could not figure out which one was which. And I'm like, yeah, that's how good this world's going to be. It's going to be, I built myself up so much for it, and it just freaking fumbled. I was so just, it's not awful, like, especially with the series involved. It's not awful. It's not like the worst thing, but my God, they could have done so much more with that thing. They could have done so much more. And I just think that throwing them in at like essentially what is considered like almost the halfway point of the movie is like you miss so much context from Dead Man's Chest to at World's End, that halfway point at World's End when they save Jack, and it's just like, what is happening? Don't get me wrong though, it's a fun world to play in. It's one of my favorite worlds to play in because it's just so big and you can explore and collect, but no, sorry. It was my most disappointing world. Not my least favorite, but it is my most disappointing one because I had so much hype for it. Preston, would you like to go next?
Well, I was gonna say let's just say it at the same time because I'm pretty sure we're right, but
no, I'm pretty sure.
2, 3, Tangled.
Corona, yeah, Tangled, yeah. Easily. So perfect. I don't even, and you can add in too, but it's so perfect. That's because like I'm not big on the princess movies, and Tangled was the first one where I'm like, that was a film, that was a movie. That's not just like a gimmicky princess thing. That's a movie trying to say something, and it got super overshadowed with like Frozen. Frozen's also an amazing movie though, so don't get me wrong, but I've resonated more with Tangled, and I just think it helped me better. Obviously the song in the movies are a lot better from like start to finish. I just love the songs from Tangled more than I do in Frozen. And do I even have to talk about the mini game in Frozen and Tangled World with the dancing? So fun, so cute. I love that type of stuff, those little like music rhythm games. And it's just so much fun. It's so unique. You see Sora dancing around. He pulls Flynn in. You can dance with Flynn. You can dance with Rapunzel. Sora leads the little conga line around the circle for the sun. It's so cute. It's so good, man. I just love how it ties in with the overall expansion of like the Kingdom Hearts universe and the plot of Kingdom Hearts, and when Marluxia comes in and stuff like that. It's so cool. It's so beautiful. It's fun to just run around the world in, and it just translates from the movie to the game so well too. Yeah,
I would definitely echo a lot of that sentiment. Whereas like a lot of, the movies to the games, Sora, like, inserts his way in there, and it might switch up the story a little bit.
Yeah.
But, like, this, it really didn't switch up the story at all, because, like, Tangled's story is, like, perfect. I think Tangled is one of the best Disney movies, hands down. Like, I was actually just rewatching it probably, like, 2 or 3 weeks ago with my nephews and niece. Easily. And, like, I just sit down, and every time I'm just, like, fall right back into it. And you guys know, like, I'm not really a repeat watcher. I don't ever like to watch things more than once unless like I'm rewatching it to remind myself for a sequel.
It's a big deal,
with Tangled,
guys.
there is no sequel. Yeah. And so like the fact that like I can sit down and watch Tangled at any point and just get pulled back in every time really just shows a testament of it as a movie. Like the humor hits perfectly, the animation is beautiful, which I would like to like point out that like the animation is almost better in the game than it was in the movie, which is incredible. Yeah. I mean, it's just a few years difference between the movie and the game, but like, yeah, the game just does so good on handling the source material, and I just can't praise it enough for like importing you directly into the world and letting you play around, and even just down to like how Rapunzel's hair like moves. Like animating that is not easy, and so the fact that it's how she moves and her weapon, it's just so good. Like I literally cannot say enough good things about that world. Like almost, I would go as far to say that might be my favorite world in the entire series. Not even just that game.
Oh yeah, no, it's up there for me. It is up there for me. I think Hall of Bastion from Kingdom Hearts 1 is still overall, but Tangled would be like slightly underneath it, like halfway underneath it, because Tangled is just so good. It's the one world that I never rush. I don't skip cutscenes on repeat playthroughs. I just enjoy the ride because it's so much fun, and even the boss fights really fun too, and the encounters are really fun. It's just wholesome. That's all it is. It's just wholesome. It just reminds me of like what Kingdom Hearts meant to me. I think it was a perfect world. But you did mention the hair, and that was a big struggle that the Square Enix had to deal with was getting that hair down. And so yeah, you're absolutely right. That was like a big deal for sure. Absolutely. I can't agree anymore. But so we've talked about our favorite moments, favorite game, favorite world. The last one that I want to bring up before we get into more prediction talks for Kingdom Hearts 4 is who's your favorite character? Who's your favorite character? Now, this might be very simple, but so I was going to do one more, which was like, what's your favorite Keyblade? But I don't know if you guys know all the names and know everything. So that was why I was like, maybe. But I'm sure everyone would have simple picks too. But so yeah, your favorite character. If you could just go ahead and just describe it. You can take as long as you want. We're good on time, but if you guys have like a favorite character that you really want to talk about, please do. Mine's very basic and straight to the point, but so I'll let you guys go first.
Mine's easy as well. It's Sora.
Okay, all right, mine too. Sora, yeah.
I think mine is actually, honestly, probably Riku, just because I've always felt. I mean, Sora's a great character. You know, there's nothing that would ever like downplay like everything that he's gone through in this series, and
Yeah.
you know, obviously he's the one that we follow. But like, I've always just really liked Riku's story a lot more, just because of like all the stuff that he like goes through on the side,
Yeah.
and you know, he had a lot of promises in the beginning, and kind of those are kind of what partly led to, you know, his downfall for a while, and then his just whole like redemption and trying to really just reclaim himself
Yeah.
and trying to like make find a way to be able to like fit back in with, you know, Sora and the group, and you know, find out like all the places that he can fit into and what he can contribute other than what Sora and Kyrie do. So
Yeah.
I think like, you know, his story, at least just his whole character arc and who he's become, has really made him my favorite character throughout the series.
I think Riku definitely out of all the characters has the best character development easily.
Mm-hmm.
Easily the best character development. I'm surprised you didn't say Roxas. Normally that's the character you lean more towards, but no, Riku's a great pick, honestly, because he does have the best out of all the characters. He's the only one that has character development, and he's changed so
Right.
much from like, you know, from Kingdom Hearts 1, he's just the guy that we all hated, to Kingdom Hearts 3, or I should say Melody and Memory, to where we're at now. It's like, wow, this is like the most loved character. Like, he's one of the most loved characters, you know. It's crazy that he's had that growth over the time. But yeah, like I said, I'm keeping it basic. Sora's my boy. I've always been a Sora stan. He's always been my favorite. He's just the happy light that I've always needed growing up in my life, and he's always been like that, I guess, quote unquote imaginary friend that's always been there, and he's always just been has such an impact on me. I think that I love his optimism, where he just sees the good and everything, and he just tries to find a way to make everyone happy and to save everyone. I just love that. He's just such a selfless person, you know, that has a good head on his shoulders. He might not be the smartest character, he might not be, you know, the most fleshed out character, but he is just an all around just pleasant character, and I just that's my boy, you know. That's just, it's just crazy to think about, you know, how far we've come. 100%.
Yeah, I would definitely once again echo a lot of what you just said. I really feel like Sora was written as the embodiment of like the original Disney like heroines slash heroes.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
he is pure optimism. He is like just I am gonna whatever's thrown my way and turn this into a good thing, like every single time. And that's why I love him, because like you
Yeah.
literally could go up and like stab Sora, and he's like, "It's all right, we can still be friends." Like, you know,
Yeah.
it's just no matter what you do to Sora, he still like loves you and like will try to go for it, and like always trying to see even the good in his enemies.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you know, like you're saying, like the embodiment of Disney going through Disney movies is what I kind of see Sora
Oh yeah,
as.
he's like that little shining light, you know, and that's what I've mentioned in one of our past episodes that's actually live right now, is the reveals video where we talked about Sora getting in Smash, and like I look at that as like a very personal decision that they made, because like, you know, all the Smash pieces, all the Smash characters turn to the trophies, they become like heartless husks of nothing, and there's one light that's left over, which is just like the flame. Mario grabs it, throws it, and it becomes a Keyblade. Leave it to Sora to bring the light back and bring everyone back to life. You know, leave it to him to be that guy who's not trying to fight anyone. He's just trying to be happy, trying to bring the light and bring the positive energy. And I'm in love with the character. I mean, other besides Sora, I guess really it's my favorite, actually, my I guess alternate favorite would be Aqua, just because she's just such a character that I look at and just think, my God, you're just so wonderful to be around. Like she's another character I stand. She's a character that I've loved, where she has just confidence, and again, she's very much like, I just want to protect my friends. I just want to do what's right, but I also want to stand back and think about the problem rather than just jumping in and acting on it, you know. And she's the character that I've grown to love dearly, 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 dearly. Obviously, it helps that we've got to play as her like 3 times, but no, she's wonderful. I love Aqua. That would be like my alternate, I guess, pick. But I don't know if you have an alternate, Preston, if you want to throw in, or if you just want to stick with Sora. I mean, Sora's still, yeah, Sora's still the GOAT. I don't know what to say. Right on. So yeah, we touched like basically on like the main aspects of for the series as a whole. Obviously, you know, there's a ton of games out there. There's a bunch of spin-offs, and this is the one of those series that like you have to play everything. Everything is canon, you know. And we've had a lot of big reveals post Kingdom Hearts 3, and for the mobile game, and for Melody and Memory, of course, and we have a lot of things. Obviously, now the big thing is we have Kingdom Hearts 4 that just got announced. So my question for you guys is, do you guys have any questions about what the hell's going on in that Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer? Because I remember we were talking about it, and Preston said, I just have more questions than answers. And I was like, oh no, I have everything. Like, personally, I have everything I need going into this now. Like, I'm just ready for more information, you know. I already know what's happening, why he's like this. I'm already at that point, you know. Because if you play all the games, the Remind DLC, Melody and Memory, and the phone game, it makes more sense. But so, do you guys have any questions?
Honestly, yeah, but all of my questions really come from just the point that you brought up is I didn't keep up with the phone game. I haven't played Melody and Memory, so
Right.
a lot of my questions are probably, all the answers are just sitting within those games, and I just
for sure.
needed to get myself to do it. So it's like, honestly, because the biggest thing is like, okay, what actually is like Quadratum from what I pieced together? That's basically sort of like an afterlife kind of thing, or at least that's my understanding of it.
Mm-hmm.
Is which even just by your reaction, I can tell it's, you know, not quite it. So
It's close.
Really,
It's pretty close, though, honestly.
Yeah, I think really my biggest thing is just where are they going from here, and like how's this gonna like play out?
Well, like I said, we got a lot of like big things throughout the trailer reveal that tells us a lot about what's going to be happening, and we're looking for more information at this point. But I mean, yeah, everything. Again, a lot of people like to make the complaints that like, oh, Kingdom Hearts is, oh, the story doesn't make sense. But if you play every game and you keep up with the story, like it makes sense, you know, like everything
Right.
lines up. Again, we live in this age where, like, for me, again, growing up, and really all of us, where we had the first game, then we had to wait for the next game, wait for the next game, wait for the next game. People now have all the games to go through and or have the availability of those games to go through, you know. But
Like-
it's a daunting task. So you're looking at me, who was a little kid at the age of 6, who played these games like religiously. I was able to absorb it in that way, where I got all the information. We're like, oh,
Right.
now I'm playing it all at once. I'm like, I don't understand any of it because I'm playing it all at once. I didn't have years to absorb it. And I think that's a big problem that people have, is just, you know, because if you, like, again, if you play all the games, the story's right there. They tell you everything you need to know. You know? And I think
Like,
that's,
really,
you know.
as far as like the Darkseeker saga, and I guess the story for Kingdom Hearts that we have now,
Yeah.
it's only really become so convoluted because it's so stretched out between like what 12, 13 video games, I think is what they're at.
Yeah.
And like really for the people that are, you know, jumping in every now and then or trying to like start towards the later end, like of course it's not going to make sense because, you know, this is definitely a series where you have to follow every single release, and, you know, no matter if it's like a phone game or if it's a like whatever, like I almost said PSP, like DS or whatever they've launched them on.
It was on PSP.
We'll see. There you go.
That was Birth by Sleep on PSP.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, I understand the big thing is like if you didn't have access to those consoles, it doesn't make sense. But I mean, for the most part, we have things like this now. I almost showed that to the wrong camera. We have access to the whole series. There's the Kingdom Hearts all-in-one package where you literally get everything.
Yeah.
It's like, a couple of them are presented as like, you know, the cutscene movies and all that, but, you know, you still get bits and pieces of the story through that, at least enough to make sense. Because, you know,
cutscenes are the entire game. Like, for Days and Recoded, it's the entire game. And
like, if that didn't present the story that you need, it wouldn't be in there.
Yeah.
So
you just have to play other games.
It's just you have to put the time in and just follow the multiple like storylines and plots and just be able to piece them all together at the end.
Now, is that frustrating? Absolutely. But again, I look at it as like, for me, I've been doing it since day one, since the first game, so that's why I'm able to keep up, because I've already passed all those games. But a lot of people are like, oh, so I have to play all these to get to Kingdom Hearts 4? Well, that sucks. Or to Kingdom Hearts 3? It's just like, yeah, but it's been 20 years these games have been coming out, you know, and there's a lot you gotta absorb, but I mean, realistically speaking, it's like, if you don't want to play it, then don't play it. Like, that's my biggest thing. If you just want to play them and play the ones you like, then just do that. But I'm not gonna let people stand there and say, oh, it's complicated or it's confusing or it doesn't make sense. It's literally right in front of you. If you want it to make sense, play all the games, you know. It's a twisted way to do it, but what's that?
Are the phone games still playable?
Unfortunately, no, you can't play the Union Cross, but they do have the cutscenes available to watch of the whole thing. So now they got the Dark Road is playable because it still hasn't finished yet. But I guess because we haven't really sat down and talked about that, Union Cross ended, and I know you guys wanted me to help you explain what had happened in those, because there's some massive reveals in that too that happened. That's like, that changed how you look at the series as a whole. It's crazy to think about. So what do you guys know about the ending for Union Cross?
Honestly, nothing. Like, I plan on one day sitting down and like watching the cutscenes for it, and same with like 365 over pi divided by 7. I want to watch all the cutscenes by that.
I'll let it go because that was funny. I'll let it go. I think, like, as far as Days is concerned, you're so far in, you could probably just skip it. I mean, all it is just talks about who Roxas is, his upbringing, who's the connection, and mainly it's about Shion, you know, and stuff like that. But, I mean, do you guys want to know, or would you just want to do it on your own time?
I'd rather just do it on my own, honestly. Yeah.
Okay. Because
I know a little bit about the ending, and I know that's that some of those characters and I think plot points are going to play into the new Saga, whatever they're calling it.
Well, not even like to the new Saga, but there's stuff that's revealed that dates backwards. That's
right.
Like, holy shit. You know, it's just like
yeah. Union Cross is just kind of revealing of like it's just showing a lot of like how just things all throughout the series have played out and into the future.
Yeah.
Which because it mostly deals with like, is it the Book of Prophecies?
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's very like centered around that, and of course that book is like the entire universe's timeline up to a certain point, I believe, and so it's just and then I know like some major characters from Union Cross popped up in the trailer for Kingdom Hearts 4. At least one did, and so it's more. Yeah, so it's just really needing to just sit down and really familiarize myself with everything.
For sure, the phone game's super important. I mean, I just think like the phone game, like some of the big, there's two big reveals. I really want to talk about them, but I don't know if I can now, because Preston wants to experience it on his own. But like, there's just like some like huge mind blowing stuff that just like it makes you reflectively look back and think, oh my god, so it's been like that the entire time, and oh, so that's where he came from and stuff like that. And you know, we learn like how Ventus goes into the current timeline, and
I was just about to bring that up.
And how like Ephemera was the original wielder of the Master Defender, which is my favorite Keyblade, and how did Ericus get it? Yeah, how did Ericus get it? Who is Brain talking to? And there's just so many different things that happen that come into play for Kingdom Hearts 4 for sure. But there's again, those two big reveals are like, holy shit! Like that, it's insane what we've come to. And then of course we have Melody and Memory, which I know you two have been very vocal about in our group chat, saying it's a rhythm game. I don't want to play it. Like, I don't want to play it, but
I will play it. I just haven't got to it.
Sure. Anyway, one of the funnest Kingdom Hearts games, honestly. It is so much fun, especially if you're a big music person, which that's why I'm surprised Broderick wasn't like, oh yeah, perfect. Kingdom Hearts and music, perfect. But I think that it is wonderful. It is out of all the games, like, it truly is one of the most fun, just as a game. It's one of the funnest Kingdom Hearts games I've played in a good hot minute. It's really good. It's really, really fun. And then we have, like, at the end, we have another big, not really shocking, but a big, like, here's an answer. Here's where we're going. This is what's happening, you know, and a lot of big things happen there. So, again, I don't know if you would rather just wait to figure it on your own or if you'd rather me just tell you, but it does patch up a lot of the questions we have about what's going on with Kingdom Hearts 4. So
I think, honestly, with Melody of Memory, best way to get me to play is just next time we all hang out, just force me to take it. That way it's just like, well, I have it, I guess I should play it, kind of thing. But yeah, just the same way. It's one of those where, like, I want to get to it. It's just there's so much stuff. I just want to knock out backlog first and all that, and just try to get through other stuff. So,
which is valid, completely valid for sure. I think it's definitely worth playing. I think it's just a ton of fun. It's a celebration of the Kingdom Hearts music. Honestly, it's just so good.
Really, I think it'll be once we start getting closer to Kingdom Hearts 4. I'll really want to jump into it. That way, I start getting like myself refreshed and everything, and kind of like just getting back into like the vibes of like the series and where we're at.
Yeah. Well, if that's the case, then I guess I'll just keep that under wraps too. But essentially, we're told where Sora was sent to, which is what we see in Kingdom Hearts 4. We're told, who's there with him, and we're told a bunch of different things like that we saw in the Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer. So Sora is currently in the realm, what is considered the realm of fiction. So so think of like our world. We see Sora as fiction. Sora in turn sees us as fiction. So for him, he's in the world of fiction for his universe, and that's why he looks different graphically, you know. And that's only for that world. The world is called, in Preston, you just said it, is Quadratum, where that's where the Varen Rex game is based from. So that's where that all ties in there. So that's where Sora's in. He's in the world of fiction, and the goal, because it cuts back to Donald and Goofy, and they're back to the Kingdom shader look, the original look for Kingdom Hearts 3. So I think the idea, and a lot of speculation that's going back and forth with the community, is, oh, so Quadratum's going to be like the intro part for Kingdom Hearts 2 with Roxas, and we're just going to start there. Like, it's going to be the tutorial section. They're going to save Sora and bring him back, or whatever the case is, you know.
Hey?
I think there's...
Oh,
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I think, honestly, Quadratum feels, at least in the context of where we are in, like, Sora's journey, and just, like, where everything is at now that presumably Xehanort is defeated, and that we're moving into, like, just a new, like, timeline of Kingdom Hearts, I guess.
Yeah.
I feel like Quadratum would be too important to just be, like, a tutorial level. Like, I would get the draw of it because of, like, Roxas and Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yeah.
Was just a sudden, like, wait, this isn't Sora. Like, why am I playing as a whole new, like, person and a whole new group of people? Like, what's going on? Like, I guess it could have that same, like, intrigue and interest, but I think I kind of, from what I'm understanding of it, is that Quadratum will feel like it's gonna be a very important, like, part of Sora's journey, especially for the future. Because I think coming out of it, he'll be not necessarily an entirely, like, different person, but, like, as far as his, like, mentality and everything, he'll start to understand things a lot differently, especially being, like, a Keyblade wielder and everything.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So, honestly, I think Quadratum would be more of, like, it'd be a bigger chunk of, like, Kingdom Hearts 4, and it'd be more towards the end that, you know, the real world, like, cast, I guess, like, speaking of, like, Riku, like, Donald and Goofy.
Yeah.
I think it'd be, like, more towards the end where they finally figure out a way to save Sora and bring him back.
Well, again, it's all speculation at this point.
Right.
So we don't know. That's just what it seems to be, because otherwise, why would they have Kingdom shader? Why would they have Donald and Goofy there looking the way they do? So that's why there's a lot of, like, you know, that's why I'm saying we just need to, I'm set. I know where Sora's at. I know what it looks like.
Right.
I'm set because I understand what's happening. Whereas a lot of people are like, well, I don't get this. It was all explained in the past games. You know, now we're just seeing it, what it's going to look like and what it's going to be like. You know, we see Strelitzia from Union Cross who's there. And we see, you know, Sora looking how he does. Like he's in, like, the world of Final Fantasy, let's say, like he's in the real world, you know. And there's a lot of, like, really cool things about it and stuff, but I think, like, realistically, in that world, the world of fiction, Disney stuff, like, the Disney worlds don't exist, you know. So how do they translate the Disney worlds to Quadratum, you know? Because that's not how Quadratum works. That's a whole other realm of existence, opposed to, like, the realm of light, where that's where we have the Disney worlds and all those different, like, Kingdom Hearts things that we're known for. So Quadratum is, like, a whole different realm. So that's why a lot of people are thinking, I don't know if it's gonna be. It'd be cool if it was that. If it's the whole game, sure, it is what it is. We just don't know yet. Yeah. But the fact that they're gonna be able to swap back and forth to have both graphic engines in the same game, it tells me that maybe they're gonna not use Quadratum's look. They're gonna use Quadratum's look for only a certain time period. Like, not like it's gonna be a Roxas, like a 2-hour prequel. I'm saying, like, half the game is probably going to be in Quadratum, and then the other half is going to be the world of light, you know. We just don't know at this point. And then, of course, for Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind, for Preston who didn't play it, after Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind happens, you get the secret episode, where you do the data battles, and then you get, well, I guess the extra episode and then the secret episode. But between Remind and that extra episode for the data battles, a whole year has passed. So Sora's been missing for a year, which is, like, for me, was like, holy shit, he's been missing for a year? That's crazy. And then Sora's or Kyrie's has been in a coma for a year, the same time period, to try and see if she can unlock where Sora's at. And then obviously Riku's trying to find him. Everyone's trying to find him and see if they can connect it. But he's in a completely separate plane of existence, and they find out through the fairy godmother, which again is a weird tie-in, but they find out through the fairy godmother. They go to the world, the last world, and talk to. This happens in Melody and Memory though, and they talk to Strelitzia and says, "Oh yeah, I think I know who you're talking about. Some new guy came here, showed up, and he has spiky hair." And it's just like, it's crazy, stuff like that. But so, going through that, and then obviously the secret boss is Yozora, which I do want to say this just to put it out there on our thing, because I'm sure at one point we're gonna discuss this type of stuff. But Yozora is my favorite video game boss fight of all time. So good. It's such a good fight. It's so good. The first legitimate boss to actually kick my ass, and I had to problem solve it, because I had played it at a time where I played on critical mode. I played it when it first came out, so there weren't really like guides or boss busters or anything like that. So I was very much in this realm of like, ooh, I gotta figure this out for myself, and stuff like that. But and we can go on and on about that kind of thing too. But I think like as far as like Kingdom Hearts 4 is concerned, that's just the state we're in. Sora's in Quadratum, where Verum Rex lives. It's in that universe, and then it's a world of fiction. I mean, there's just too many different realms, honestly. There's just too much stuff going on. There's a sleep realm, a dream realm, a digital realm, the realm of light, the realm of darkness. There's so many different realms, that we're obviously, again, if you play all the games, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So I'm excited. We do have to talk about one big thing, and this goes into the predictions segment of it, but just to catch you guys up to speed. So in the trailer, and it's been very big speculation throughout the community, we're finally going to get Star Wars in Kingdom Hearts 4. What do you guys think about that?
I mean, if Quadratum is gonna be like its own like separate thing, and Sora will be able to go to different like places and all that.
Yeah.
I think getting a Star Wars like world, I mean, just for me would be pretty cool, just because I'm such a big Star Wars fan to begin with. But I think certain parts of like the universe and certain stories can fit well with like the, I guess, Kingdom Hearts formula and the stories they try to like tell with each planet. So I think something could definitely be there. And I mean, since from what I saw, it's everybody saying that it looked very much like it was Endor that they like real quick like teased at. And
well, also,
I mean, if it's
the AT-AT foot or the ATST foot is
right.
They say that's what that is in the trailer. So it's like, and people have done like, they go onto Battlefront 2 and they go to that location, and it looks literally like the same. It looks exactly like it. So,
right.
But
like, I mean, that'll be dealing, presumably around, what was that, Return of the Jedi? So that'd be Luke, Leia, and Han, and I would say that would probably be one of the best trios to do a story.
It looks like it'd be after though, because it looks like that the foot thing is like destroyed, and it's like just scrap metal. So it could be after, but who knows?
Yeah, I think it would be a cool addition to the series.
I hope they do the original series, the original trilogy though. I agree. I think that would be the better for sure. What do you think, Preston?
I think that for now, like, so kind of talking about our past videos a little bit.
Yeah.
There was things that like leaked or were like announced in different things, or like fans thought they saw in the trailers that I realized like we were wrong on. Yeah. Where there was different things that you said, oh yeah, like this a movie is gonna be in or not gonna be in because X, Y, and Z, and yeah. We were totally wrong. And so like I'm not banking 100% on Star Wars being in there just yet, even though it seems like we kind of see it, because it could be the bait and switch, It could be like, oh, hey, it looks like this, but it's really this. Like, I love Star Wars in there. Absolutely. Do I think that it's like totally the right call? Yeah, because like we were talking about with Pirates of the Caribbean, like it fits right in where like you got kind of the swordplay of KH, and then you got the swordplay of Star Wars. So like, and then magic, you know, in the KH universe, and then magic, the Force in the Star Wars universe. Everything flows really well together. And so like I think it would be great, and if they did it, I would love to see them do the original trilogy, not any of the new Disney trilogy stuff. Personally, or like I wouldn't even mind the prequels. Honestly, I just want to break from the new trilogy. Like I just don't want it.
Okay, for sure.
Right.
I think I definitely want it to be in. I think that's an easy decision to make. I just think, like, I'm still a fan of the sequel trilogy personally, but I just think the original trilogy is just something everyone can get on board with, you know? Like, everyone's drawn to it initially. You know, you have, like, Luke Skywalker, the classic hero, and then you have... It's really, like, what time frame what movie are we doing? Because obviously they can't do the entire trilogy, but... so that's where the consideration comes in, like, when are they going to do it? How are they going to do it? Is it going to be set after Return of the Jedi, maybe? In that type of environment? It really kind of depends, but... On that note, then, what worlds do you want to see in Kingdom Hearts 4?
So, you know, since the original KH3 started getting made, you know, Disney has bought so much stuff. It is unreal. So, like, I've actually been trying to run down this rabbit hole as we've been talking to see, like, how much stuff has been bought since the conception of, you know, KH3. So Fox, obviously the huge thing that they bought, right?
Yeah.
And so, but on top of that, they also have Blue Sky Studios now, Fox Animation Studios.
Yeah.
And then obviously the Star Wars, Marvel, all that kind of stuff we have that could be in there. So the possibility is endless for what could be in these games. Because, I mean, heck, you could see, like, some notable things that they now own that I could totally see making its way in. Not that I want it, but I could see it making its way in. We have all the Ice Ages they could mess around with. We have Anastasia, which is, you know, basically a lot of people think is a Disney movie because it's done so well and like a Disney movie. I can see that thrown in.
But it's not. It's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, fits the mold. Looking at, you know, kind of some of the other stuff on, like, what Fox has, we have, like, Alien, Terminator, like, all this kind of stuff, Predator. Like, if they wanted to just go ham, like, we've seen them put PG-13 movies in these games before, so why not? Honestly, the list is insane what they could do, but for me, at the end of the day, for, like, my personal picks, it's gonna just have to go back to 2. And I say this every time we do this, it's going to be Treasure Planet and Atlantis. Do I think either of those will get in? Honestly, with the resurgence of Atlantis especially, I think possibly. It totally can. And I know one of your fan favorite movies, Pat, is Black Cauldron. And the fact of the matter is, like, Disney is looking into, like, making movies and things about that again and have relicensed the rights. So I could totally see your favorite making its way in there as well.
Yo, they need to stop roasting my favorite Disney movie. Please, Disney, stop. Because have you seen the new Mickey show?
Like,
no, the unhinged one with the
different Calvin right before he takes his naps.
You know what I'm talking about, though, right? Like the new art style with the weird looking Goofy.
Yeah, the wonderful.
Yeah, the
world of Disney or whatever.
Where he's like, "What happened?" Whatever. Where he goes like you know, the clip, like, there's a clip in a graveyard, and there's a headstone, and it has somewhere buried. You see the Black Cauldron on VHS buried in the graveyard. It's just like, damn. It's because that was the movie that was gonna bankrupt Disney. Thankfully, it didn't happen, obviously. Yeah. But that was like the movie that was like, oh, this did terribly. We're never gonna come back for this. But obviously, they did, and I was just like, damn, it's my favorite. I love it so much. I still do. It's still my favorite. It means so much to me.
Well, I mean, if it makes you feel any better, my favorite's also a huge flop. So
I think not as much as Black Cauldron though. I think it's still
no,
more,
it didn't. It didn't take out the studio. So you're right.
but I think also think just as far as popularity, like people are like, oh yeah, Treasure Planet. What's Black Cauldron? That's why it's like that's why I tell everyone you'll never guess what it is because no one really knows about it. You know. As far as like all the different properties, I don't know how crazy they'll really go with it. I don't think they're gonna do freaking Predator or Alien. I don't think they're gonna go that crazy. I think that's too much. I think that's way too
I just
much.
went out some of the new properties they had.
I know, but I just think that's crazy. That's like if they did like the Simpsons world, you know? Which honestly, personally, I'd be down for a Simpsons world. I think that'd be dope. I think it'd be hella fun seeing like Sora,
Predator versus Sora,
seeing like Sora animated as like a Simpson. I think that'd be so freaking funny. I think that'd be so cool. Or like even as like a Muppet, you know, like anything like that. I think that would be wonderful if they did. I want the honestly. So this Kingdom Hearts 4 is basically this saga's Kingdom Hearts 1. It's a whole new saga. It's a whole new storyline.
Yeah. Right.
I want them to go nutty. I want them to go insane. Because like you said, they have a bunch of properties. I want them to do everything and anything they're willing to do and that they can make work narratively in the story. You know, like whether it's Simpsons or Muppets or whatever the case is, you know. I think that they can do so many cool things. And gosh, I don't even like honestly at this point, like Kingdom Hearts 4 is awesome. I'm excited to see what they're gonna do with it, but I'm honestly just relaxed and chilled about it because I know that this is the first game to set off the rest of the new saga. So that's why I'm like, let's see what they do. And I want them just to go crazy. I want them just to go ballistic. You know, I want them to first thing, I want them to do new stuff. I don't want returning worlds anymore.
No returning. I don't want one single returning world.
I personally, I mean, unless it's a Kingdom Hearts world, like a like
no returning Disney. Let me read.
Hollow Bastion. Yeah, exactly. No returning Disney World. Unfortunately, again, there's speculation that Donald and Goofy are in the underworld at Olympus Coliseum. I'm like, goddamn, we're never gonna get rid of this world, are we? It's gonna be here forever. It's in just about every goddamn game, except for I think Dream Drop Distance. It's in every game. We're never gonna get rid of it. But I mean, honestly, Olympus is just so warm and welcoming. I'm fine with it as long as they bring back the tournaments. Then I'd be justified to be like, all right, whatever. But it looks like that's where Donald and Goofy are going because the blue flame comes up and like, oh, they're looking for Hades or you know, whatever the case is, whatever they're doing. And it's just like, damn. But no, I agree. I don't want any repeats. And Kingdom Hearts 3 did such a good job with doing no repeats except for Olympus Coliseum. But that was like the intro to the entire game, you know. So I give it a pass. And then obviously Pirates, but Pirates story can continue on with like At World's End and whatnot, but I hope they don't do any more Pirates. I want new stuff. Black Cauldron is my pick for sure. I want Black Cauldron. I think it is a perfect tone and setting for the Kingdom Hearts franchise, and I just really want it. I really want it. Will it happen? No, probably not. I think I would actually die of a heart attack if it happens. But I think Atlantis is actually very feasible. I think that's realistically, I look at that and say that's actually the most feasible thing. I would also want, it's those three, like what you just said. It's Atlantis, Treasure Planet, and Black Cauldron. I want those three to be in there because I think again, I think Atlantis is a feasible thing. I think that's a legitimate like property they could use and that they would use. I think Treasure Planet is also a more likely pick, but well, we see it. Who knows? What about you, Brod? Or do you have something, Preston?
I was just gonna say, looking at this list, I realized one that they have the rights to now after buying Fox that we did not mention. That would be amazing.
What?
Percy Jackson and the Olympians.
Maybe.
You know,
Maybe. I don't
it
know.
works. It's magic.
It would.
It's
I
like,
get it,
you
but
know,
that's
you
a
have story.
maybe. That's a
It
maybe.
follows the. I mean, it could work.
That's a maybe. That one's a I don't know. Would it be cool? Honestly, if they do it, sweet. I'm all down. I'm all for it. Let's do it. They're making a Disney Plus show. Whatever. Let's do it. But that's a hard maybe. I want to see them do Rescue Rangers
It'd be pretty cool.
because of the movie. Because they have two references to Sora.
Yeah.
They have two references to Sora in that movie.
Yeah,
Have you guys seen the movie yet?
No.
I have.
Okay, with the context of why that's there, it scares me. What did they do to Sora, Broderick? What did they do to him? It terrifies me. What did they do to my son? Like before the promo art and the promo picture of it was like, oh, it's a call to Kingdom Hearts, cool. No, it's not.
Reference. Yeah, and like I saw like the pictures and all that. I was like, okay, it's probably gonna be some one-off thing. I know, like once I see like this surrounding, keep an eye on it. And then actually getting the context, it was just oh wow. Okay,
Preston, you need to watch this movie today.
Disney.
This movie is insane. This movie's unhinged.
I've been wanting it for a while. I just, like I said, I've been so busy. I just haven't.
I'm telling you, you need to watch this freaking movie. It is absolutely
honestly
nutty.
after I finished it, I just sat there. I was like, did Disney not know what kind of movie they were making? Like, what happened?
Yeah, dude,
with
Disney.
one?
This is super unhinged. This is like because they're using properties they don't even own in this movie.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I do know
they own this stuff? What's happening? Like, they have R-rated stuff in this movie from, like, R-rated properties. It's just like, what is happening? It's insane. No, it's so cool. It's so unhinged. It's so wonderful. It's probably my favorite movie of the year. It's so fun. It's so fun. Because, like, the little cameos and stuff, it's not in your face. It's very much like this is just the universe we live in, and like this is like the possibility of it, and it's so cool. Watch it. It's so good. I promise you, you'll love it. It's so cool. Broderick, what's your pick before we close off here? What world would you want to have?
To be honest, just going back to the point that Preston's made, just how much Disney can pull, I don't even know.
Well, what would you want though? Like it's more of like, what do you want? What do you want a world to be in Kingdom Hearts 4?
I think really just Star Wars, but that's just because I've always wanted somehow for them to work in Star Wars ever since Disney bought it. But
that's
I just
valid.
was like, oh, there's no way that would ever work.
Yeah, no, it's valid.
Yeah.
It's a valid want. I think it's the most logical pick. Honestly, it's like realistically. It's the most logical pick.
But just now, like just where Kingdom Hearts is, it's just like oh wait, no, they can do it now.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, so it was just thinking back and like kind of like the pre Kingdom Hearts 3 and everything, kind of just like oh, there's no way this would like the at least how like the stories work and just characters of Star Wars and everything would work in it, and now it's just like oh maybe. Like I'm sure, like they'll somehow find a way to make it work. I mean,
oh no, Star Wars is always something that could work in Kingdom Hearts. That's dumb easy. You have the dark side and light side. You have lightness and darkness. It meant
literally darkness.
It literally fits like this. It's like a perfect fit. It definitely is. It was just more of a licensing thing, where now it's not. Whereas like you look at like. Why wasn't Tarzan in Chain of Memories? It's because it was a licensing thing at the end of the day, I mean, I'll tell you what, we're probably not going to see Winnie the Pooh come back in Kingdom Hearts 4 because it's public domain now, and they made a horror movie off of it.
That's true.
Hey, bring that one in. That'd be fun.
God, no. No, I hate it. I hate it.
Give us some like Alien versus Predator versus Sora. I mean, if you want to be nutty with it, just start doing some wild stuff.
Honestly, I really want them to just have fun with this first game. After you establish the start of this saga, then more concrete yourself. But this one, just do it and see what works. we're gonna love it regardless. You know, like I said, Simpsons, Muppets, do it. I would personally, I love the Simpsons. I'm a late Simpsons fan because I haven't really watched I've only watched the series when Disney Plus came out. Other than that, I've only watched the movie. You know,
Right.
I'm in love with it now. Do it. Why not? I want to see Sora, Donald, and Goofy looking like the Simpson characters. That'd be wonderful. That'd be so cool, you know. But you know, these are just like more like personal desires and wants. But I don't know. Is there anything else you guys wanted to add or put in?
The final thing that I saw that another one they could possibly do because they have the rights to now that would honestly be fun that I wasn't even thinking of until I'm looking at all this list is Night at the Museum.
Holy shit, that would be good. That would be
Exactly.
good, actually. That'd be kind of fun. Imagine like the T-Rex and the monkey are your party members.
My gosh.
Like,
or a Tilda Hun.
And then it'd be so fun because they could pull so much history and everything. Like, it doesn't even have to necessarily be like the museums they've been at. Like, it's just like it would be such a meta crap.
Screw it, dude. National treasures. Dude, national treasures.
Yeah.
Sora's like, wait, what are we gonna do? We're gonna steal the Declaration of Independence. The Declaration of what? I can just imagine the interaction with Sora.
And the really, really fun thing is that, like, Nicolas Cage would literally do anything, so I could totally see him
he's not doing anything
in that game.
Oh, yeah.
Does Fox still own Family Guy?
Yes.
Hey.
Could see Family Guy or Bob's Burgers.
Bob's Burgers, let's go. Unhinged, I'm telling you, Disney can do some really Square Enix and Disney can do some really cool shit with this game. But
if they want to, if they really like realistically, this is my realistic prediction. I see not fan one, but the realistic one.
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
We're gonna see a Marvel movie in there. You almost got to at this point.
We're gonna see what? I'm sorry.
A Marvel movie.
Marvel. Okay. Yeah. I can see.
And like everything else, like I would guess probably a more current Disney animated movie, so maybe something like Encanto.
Oh, that's right. So here, this will help you actually. So for Kingdom Hearts 3, I think Big Hero 6 was the cutoff movie. So everything, because like was the cutoff movie. So after Big Hero 6, we're like, all right, we're not doing any more like picks. That's all good. We're not doing any more like decisions or picks or whatever the case is. Like that's the cutoff, you know. And then, you know, we move forward. We have all these movies that just came out. You know, we have, I'm pretty sure Inside Out's one. Moana, obviously. Moana has to be an obvious pick to be completely fair. And then we have Soul just came out. I don't know, there's so many, Raya and the Last Dragon. There's so many movies that have like recently come out that that has made that like difference, you know. And I think that's really cool and stuff. So there's a lot of different picks. I think we're having some technical difficulties with Preston, but I don't know if he's there or not. But yeah, I think realistically Moana has to be in there for sure. 100%. Yeah,
that'd be a good one.
I think Moana would just be so much fun. But yeah, there's so many. Oh no.
Oh, I think we might have just lost Preston.
Might have.
Well.
Yeah, no, for sure. But oh, now he's back. I don't know what's happening. It's okay. We're at the end anyway. I don't know if he's trying to use his phone or whatever the case is. I don't know what happened. But, so, that's all good, though. There he is. Speak. Preston. Speak. Oh, okay. We can't hear him.
Yeah. Well.
Are you muted? Did you mute yourself? Yeah, he's muted. Nope.
Hey.
There you go. Okay.
I don't know what happened.
It's all good.
All of a sudden, it sounded like Transformers getting beaten up and put through a meat grinder.
Is
And
that
then
Fox?
all of a sudden, my video went gone. Because I saw Broad disappeared, and then my video just went bloop,
Oh,
and
no,
I
he
was
was there.
gone.
Yeah, I was looking through your text real quick.
Oh yeah, I was like, he was, yeah. That's what I assumed, that you were like, yeah, with the text or something. But it's fine. Through the power of editing. So Preston, I had just mentioned like, me and Broad were kind of like on the same side of this, but like Moana, I think Moana is a very clear choice. But I was saying like, and then there's Soul, there's Inside Out, there's Raya the Last Dragon. There's so many movies that have come out.
Good one, yeah.
There, because like Big Hero 6 was a cutoff, and that was what, 2014, 2013.
Yeah, let's look at this.
It's between those and one of those years. So that was like the cutoff year from like, let's say 2015 or 2014 and on. You have all those movies to pick from for like just Disney in general, which is just really cool.
I don't know if you guys brought it up because Patrick, I know you said Soul, and that reminded me of a thought that I had while I was thinking of this recording. But what was that movie they made a while ago? I think the character's name was like 22 or something like that.
That's Soul.
Oh, that is Soul? Oh,
That's
never
Soul,
mind. That's right.
The ghost is called 22 because that's like the 22nd spirit to ever exist. Yeah.
That's right. I thought that was a whole different movie for some reason. Never mind.
Pat, since Big Hero 6 for Disney Animation, we have Zootopia, Moana,
oh my God, Zootopia!
Ralph Breaks the Internet. Yeah, Ralph Breaks the Internet.
Well, Wreck-It Ralph can't make it, unfortunately.
I know. Raya and the Last Dragon and Encanto. And then for Pixar, I know we have.
Toy Story 4.
So 2014 would be the cutoff limit. So let's get a reminder of this. What we got. We could have a Turning Red world.
That was recent. I haven't seen the movie yet.
You want that, right, Rod?
Turning Red, I've seen that.
I haven't seen it yet, so I don't have an opinion.
World.
I know you have an opinion about it, but calm down. There's a lot of people that love that movie.
I know. But we could, for Pixar, it's actually a wide list that we can get since 2014, which is The Good Dinosaur, Finding Dory, Cars 3, Coco, Incredibles 2, Toy Story 4, Onward, Soul, Luca, and Turning Red. And dependent of how far ahead they let Square Enix look, we could potentially even have Lightyear.
Oh, which is true. No, because that's like pre-production. So they like pre-production before they start making the game and showing any of us. They have that discussion already. So we don't know what the initial cutoff is because they're already making the game. They've already made most of the game because they showed us quite a bit.
Yeah.
So that's why
the KH3 took forever to make, right?
Yeah, but they still made those decisions like beforehand.
So when was
KH3 was going through like engine changes and everything too.
That's the main Kingdom Hearts. Yeah, that's the main thing is they switched engines and graphic styles drastically. That's why it took so long. But they make like that's writing. That's like pre-production. That's writing.
Yeah.
They have to figure all that out before they start making the thing. Like, oh, what world are we gonna do first? What's this or that? So they have to do because they have picked Frozen and they said, oh, we want Frozen in it before Frozen actually released in theaters. So they're
well, and that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
they could have done that with Lightyear potentially. We don't know.
Well, that's a big maybe because I don't know.
Yeah.
Because again,
that's a big property that they I can totally see them doing something like that.
Right.
Because they already had Toy Story and it's a little different. But yeah, totally. Like with those all the Pixar movies I just said, I could totally see them touching onto like Onward or onto Incredibles.
Oh my God,
even.
Onward would be great. Onward would be perfect too. Here's a question actually. So I know you mentioned Marvel. Would you rather have a Marvel world or a Incredibles world?
Ooh.
Because they're both superheroes.
I feel like Incredibles would work better in universe.
Yeah, I agree. I think that just makes more sense. I think Marvel is too nutty on its own to come into the Kingdom Hearts. I mean, it's possible, but like, what story arc would you go through? Would you pull from the movies, or would you, like, you know what I mean? I just think with Incredibles they could just pull from, because I think with Incredibles they could just pull from the movie, you know, and just do it like that, and that would work, you know. But I think I'd rather have Incredibles personally. I just think it makes more sense, you know, to go with the Disney theme. But for sure, I don't know. I think there's a lot of exciting things that can happen. We won't know for a while, unfortunately. Maybe at the Tokyo Game Show, or the Tokyo Game Show. That might be the next TGS. That might be the next thing we'll see anything Kingdom Hearts 4 related, potentially. And that's not till like the end of the year. That's like way down the line. So
it's like December or something.
It's way down the line, yeah. Something like that. I'm too fuzzy on what it is, but that's where, like, notoriously, that's where Kingdom Hearts always got announced. Or like, I don't know, when is D23 happening this year?
It is, yeah. So
D23 is another event where Kingdom Hearts has historically been on the show floor, you know. So we'll see. I don't think it's gonna be at D23. I think it's gonna be at, because D23, that's where they'll show like the Disney properties. They wouldn't necessarily show off the game. I think at this stage where we're at with Kingdom Hearts 4, it's like, we're gonna save it for like an actual game, a Japanese game show where they'll do that. So it's exciting. There's a lot of great things coming on for Kingdom Hearts 4. What a time to be a fan, honestly. I don't know do you have anything else you guys want to add maybe before we end this, or?
I think I'm good.
All right, for sure. Play the games then. You, looking at both of you. I'm just kidding. Play at your own pace, but I have them, so you can borrow them. I have them all. I know you have them all, Broderick. Preston, I know. Yeah. I think you have them all. I don't know, but
I don't have most, actually.
Obviously, for like the mobile game, that's a whole different thing. You actually just have to do the cutscenes. But honestly, that's the best way to do it. I'm a big Kingdom Hearts fan. I'm a Kingdom Hearts shill. I've put money into Unicross personally, but my God, ass. I just can't stand it. Like, I love the story, and I think the story is one of the better stories in the series. And I just love that you can make your own Keyblade wielder, and the impact that has on like the ending is just really cool. So I just think that the gameplay just sucks, and it was getting to a point where it's not hard. It just becomes like so I have to grind to get all these gems so I get the right cards to be able to beat this boss. It's crystals or gems, whatever they're called, metals. That's it, metals. And it's just like, I'm not a big fan, but so yeah, this has definitely been our longest episode for sure. So thank you guys so much for joining us. I appreciate it. I'm Patrick with my co-host Brod and our guest star Preston. Go ahead and put in the comments and like, what's your favorite Kingdom Hearts game, world, Keyblade character, whatever. Talk about it if you want. That's what they're open for, you know, and have that conversation get started. Also, if you want, leave a like, subscribe, all that fun jazz. Maybe we'll have our guest star Preston come on another episode for a different topic. Maybe this is kind of maybe just a one-off thing. It's just Kingdom Hearts 20th anniversary happened. I'm a huge Kingdom Hearts fan, if you couldn't tell already. And this is just something I've been wanting to talk about on the show. We might bring up Kingdom Hearts later on, because I know Brad and I have talked about doing more Kingdom Hearts videos and stuff like that, or shows, but we'll see for the coming future. Thank you guys again for stopping by and hanging out with us. We really do appreciate it. Take care, everyone.
See ya.
Yeah.